Kiyomi McMiller, a homecoming for the Silver Spring native. She's the best scorer in the Big Ten, just behind Juju Watkins. And of course, Kayleen Schmeichel taking on her former team.
Yeah, so many interesting storylines to watch. There's some players with a lot of experience, some players looking to prove something in their first year in this league. This is a really, really big game for Maryland. I mean, you see Rutgers coming in here. They've got a chip on their shoulder. They see Schmeichel on the other end, and, you know, it could be personal for them. They want to try to show the player that moved on to Maryland they've still got it.
Maryland 12-0 for the first time since it started 12-0 in the 2018-2019 season. See the Terps taking the floor here. Sellers, Tibiasu, Schmeichel, Poffenbarger, and Christina Dulce, the center. Pretty good crowd here. First action in this building in the new year. Underway, and it starts with Thompson, the point guard for Rutgers. Maryland very stout defensively this year. We'll see what kind of challenge Rutgers provides it. In and out of the first attempt. Good rebound for Lacey. She puts it in for the game's first points.
That's just confidence there to stick with it, and for Rutgers, that's exactly what they needed, a good first trip down the court.
How about that for Kayleen Schmeichel? Maryland's leading scorer gets the party started early against her former team.
I think all eyes today in this game are going to be on number 2 in white to see how she responds playing against her former team for the first time. And I'd say that's a pretty good start to walk down the court and nail 3.
Saw another quick start. Kiyomi McMiller took a very deep 3 there.
She's taken 2 already, Ben. She's certainly got a lot of confidence, and she's trying to put her skills on display against a very good defensive team in Maryland.
Poffenbarger, she likes to shoot it. That goes in and out. Up the floor, here comes McMiller, the Silver Spring native. Swings it to the corner for Thompson. Enter down low, Adams. Very physical player, not enough to get by Dulce and Poffenbarger. Sellers to the bucket. That one missed just a little bit long, and a foul on the floor. Ball's gonna stay with Maryland here.
I don't feel like we see Cheyenne Sellers call her number early in games as much, Ben, as you may think for a player with her skill set, but she does right there. The first time that she really has a meaningful offensive touch, she takes it to the hoop herself.
Dulce in the paint. First shot for her, too strong. And McMiller lets it go out of play.
And Dulce didn't score against Michigan State until very late in that game. However, once she got going, she really was the finisher, I guess, for Maryland. She had the most important bucket and some great plays defensively as well down the line. She's trying to get started earlier, though, Ben.
McMiller, tough defender, and Sellers on her. Trying to create her own shot. It goes to the corner, the 3 for Lacey off the mark. Poffenbarger, she's been a rebounding machine this season. She grabs another. Here's Tibiasu, transition. A little bit too strong. Another foul on the floor. Dulce absorbed the contact from Lacey.
It's going to be Lacey's first foul. And if you're Rutgers, you're playing a really dangerous game, giving Sarah Tibiasu that much space on the outside. I think she's been such a good shooter when she has the time this year. And yeah, that's not a hard call for Lacey. She's just trying to get space. She's just trying to win that matchup with Dulce before that shot goes off the rim.
Dulce to the rim, she is blocked. Perkins got in for the block. Here's Lacey in transition. Sellers takes a big shot. It's taken away by Schmeichel. Look at this fight from Lacey. Rutgers gets another possession back. McMiller floats it. Too short. Maryland loves to push in transition. Here's Tibiasu, the VCU transfer. Schmeichel, little errant on the pass. Dulce collects. It goes back to her. And Schmeichel stepped on the line. Second turnover for the Terps. Sorry, Tyler.
You talk about Maryland pushing the pace. I think Rutgers is doing that as well, and I don't think it's working for either side. That's the interesting thing. Rutgers has missed each of their last 4 shots. Maryland now each of their last 5. I would expect both teams to just slow things down now and find their game.
Cheyenne Sellers received a flop warning from that last possession. Up top for McMiller. It's going to be a fun matchup all night, and there it is. First points for the hometown kid. Rutgers grabs the lead by 2. In the corner, Sellers. Shooter's touch for Cheyenne Sellers. How about that?
It's a nice little response. You see McMiller go down and hit one in your face, and you want to try to give her a taste of your own medicine, and that's exactly what Cheyenne Sellers did.
Sakara Perkins tried to enter it in there to Adams. Awa Sidibe first off the bench for the Scarlet Knights. Goes back to the corner for Perkins, and she traveled. Slow start offensively for both teams here, Tyler.
Yeah, but again, for Maryland, if you've got a player like Sellers, you just want to get her the basketball and see what she can do. I think that Maryland's defensive set is so interesting, Ben, because they are just giving Perkins the three-point shot. They're just going to let her take it. Be interesting to see if she does.
Here's Sellers curling a bucket. Nice pass to Kubek. That's what Sellers has done so well this year, just make plays.
And Ben, she draws attention to herself with the shots that she's taken so far in the game and that 3 that she just hit. And what does that do? Well, it creates opportunities for others, and she uses her vision to find them.
A lot of contact, no call. Poffenbarger grabs it. Outlet pass. Schmeichel can't handle it.
That's the 4th rebound already for Sailor Poffenbarger.
She is just a machine rebounding the ball, and that pass tried to outlet like a quarterback, like her brother Reese.
She's such a weapon. I think it's so rare to have a player with that specific skill set of rebounding and threes, and she certainly is a nice pickup for Brenda Fries and this Maryland team.
Attacking the bucket, Perkins. Nice footwork at the rim. Poffenbarger rebound 5.
And again, keep an eye on that matchup, Poffenbarger versus Perkins. Because Perkins is not a threat from deep, that allows Sailor Poffenbarger to stay in the paint pen and collect all these rebounds.
Kubek tries to make her presence felt. Foul called against Maryland.
And that's so smart, again, I think, by Brenda Fries to have Sailor Poffenbarger guarding Perkins. And Perkins doesn't want to take advantage of that wide open 3 that the Terps are giving her. Again, that allows Maryland to have the numbers in the paint and limit second chance points for Rutgers.
It'll be Sidibe here to inbound it. Rutgers has only made 1 of its last 7. Still only a 3-point lead for Maryland here. McMiller with Bree McDaniel on her. Sidibe from the right wing. Ball enters down low. Adams is dangerous down here. Here's Lacey. To the bucket, had it poked away, and it goes right to Adams. Had 31 in the loss to Ohio State. McDaniel tries to call her number here early. She's fouled.
And Maryland is so good at getting to the line. That is really the calling card of this Terrapin team. They've done it all year long, and McDaniel is definitely a player who just seems to invite contact. As you can see, just great positioning at the other end by Adams. That's how she gets so many points. But so smart there by McDaniel to take that, the confidence on full display, and let's see if she can knock down the free throws. She's been good from the line this year, Ben, averaging 80%.
And she connects on the first one. Back on that last play, I thought it was poked away. That was actually a great pass from JoJo Lacey. So we've got to give credit to her for that.
And I almost feel like you saying that it was poked loose is a compliment to her, because you just couldn't believe, and I agree from this angle, that she got that pass off.
10-7 Maryland here in the opening minutes. Long 3. Wow, that was taken from Virginia. Fight for the loose ball. Lacey comes up with it and throws it right to the other side of the court. Brenda Fries points Maryland's way.
That 3 that you just saw is a result of Cheyenne Sellers' size. For McMiller, you can't really get. And you best believe that Brenda Fries is not going to underestimate a Rutgers team who, like I said, has played tight on the road so far this year.
McDaniel lets it fly. She gets it.
And when McDaniel gets going from deep, again, that's not really her game. She loves the physicality working in the paint. When she starts hitting from three, that opens up everything else for her when you've got to respect her as soon as she gets the ball.
Inside to Adams. This matchup with Kubek will be good, but the rejection. Wow, from Mir McLean.
And I love the energy on Cheyenne Sellers' face as soon as she picked it up.
Poffenbarger, a little strong. Fight for the loose ball goes Rutgers' way. There's Maryland in transition, Tyler. We know how much it likes to push the pace there and find that open three-point shot. Poffenbarger just yet to connect on it. McMiller has been wild to start this one, a little pull-up shot. She's off the mark, and she's 1 of 6 to begin her outing here.
And that's unusual if you're Rutgers. She's shooting over 40% from the field this season. Ben, almost 40%. She's shooting about 37, 38 from three. We've seen her take some really long threes because she can get space with Sellers.
Sellers nifty to the bucket, but she traveled. Couple uncharacteristic mistakes on both sides.
And again, I don't know if McMiller has had some stuff to say to Sellers or what, but I feel like she's been calling her number more than usual so far in this game, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think that Maryland really needs her to do that, especially in big games coming up, because she's just that good.
There she is again to the bucket, had it stolen away. McDaniel, credit her with the steal. In transition for three, that's off. Lacey picks it up, had a wide open Scarlet Knight Petticourt, and instead commits a charge. Wow.
And Petticourt's walking over, confused, I guess, because you're right, she had her open on the near side, and Sellers had to make a decision. That's just intelligent basketball by Cheyenne Sellers. It's exactly what you expect. She is so smart. And that's really textbook how you defend a 2-on-1.
Sellers, the coaching staff has been extra hard on her this year because of her opportunities to play at the next level, and she's got her second bucket of the day. And Coquise Washington needs a 30 here, 15-7. Maryland on a 7-0 run, Tyler.
I think that's a good timeout because, as we saw at the start of this game, Rutgers was right there. They just haven't been making shots. And for Coach Washington, I think she's just telling her team right now, look, let's try to slow things down. Let's settle down. We're still very much in this game. You just want to try to capitalize on the opportunities that you've got.
Rutgers has not scored in the last 2 minutes and 11 seconds, and it also has 4 turnovers in the past 4 minutes. So on just about almost every possession in the past 4 minutes, the Scarlet Knights have coughed it up. That's something that just has to change.
12-2 run for Maryland over the last 4 minutes, about the same time frame as Rutgers, who's been averaging a turnover a minute. And that's just not sustainable against a Maryland team who's so good in transition, because you best believe when you cough it up, they're going to take it down the other way and score. They are averaging almost 2 points per turnover forced in this game.
McMiller's got a big crowd for her here today. Grew up in Silver Spring, played at a prep school in New Jersey. Here's Sidibe. Picks up her dribble and has to just find anyone. It goes inside to China Cornwell. McMiller, her second three.
And she needed that. She needed to hit a shot, get back into the swing of things. That's huge. She's now 2 of 5 for 3, and that's a lapse by Maryland's defense, Ben, to give her that look.
Sellers to the bucket. She's got Maryland's last 4. See if that 3 leads to some more confidence here for McMiller.
This is really interesting, Ben. A switch. Sellers off of McMillan, and they're putting McDaniel on her now, and McDaniel is such a tight on-ball defender.
Looks like that one was blocked by Poffenbarger. It was. Sellers pass to McDaniel, lets it fly. Well off the mark. Rebound collected by Petticord. Errant pass, McMiller, good play to keep it in to Sidibe. Petticord takes it inside. Poffenbarger, another rebound. She's got 6. Sellers pushes the pace. Circus shot, and she's fouled. Substitution, Smeichel comes back into the game for McDaniel. Sellers relentlessly takes this one to the bucket and receives contact as a result.
And if you include that shot, that won't count because of the foul and the shot wiped off by the travel earlier on. She has taken 6 in this game. Now, to put that into perspective, and she only takes an average of 10 per game. We're only in the first quarter. Like I've said, Cheyenne Sellers has really been calling her own number a lot so far in this game. And if you're Maryland, you always love to see her getting to the line because she's shooting 76% from there.
Yeah, she's taken a bit of a backseat in that leading scorer role with Smeichel on the team this year. But, however, the playmaking has gotten better. Sellers leads this team in assists, and that's the role that Maryland wants her in.
She's also been rebounding at a really solid rate as well, Ben.
Yeah, using some of that size to her advantage. Here's Sidibe. Long 2 on the way. Off the mark, Mir McLean fights for the board. And the call goes Maryland's way.
Whenever there's a loose ball, I feel like Mir McLean is never too far away, Ben. Her hustle has just been outstanding this season. She was a really highly touted recruit, played ball 2 years at UConn and then transferred to UVA. And now with Maryland, I think she's really found a nice role.
Sellers tried to find her down low. Comes back to Smeichel. Sellers got the size advantage here on Sidibe. Shot clock winds down. Smeichel has to put this up, and that's a shot clock violation.
She just never got the ball set in her hands, and she didn't really have time to. She received it with about 1 second left to go, and again, she just never comfortably received it. You just got to throw it up, whatever you've got, better than the whistle, for sure.
See if Rutgers goes 2 for 1 here with McMiller.
Maryland putting Sellers back on her.
Appears it won't. McMiller to the corner, Sidibe. In Poffenbarger's face, it's long. Smeichel runs in transition. She's gonna have to pull it out. That's a smart decision.
That's very smart, like you said, Ben, and you can see her look up and see the clock and just put the brakes on.
10 on the clock for Sellers. Maryland star the last 3 years. Smeichel. And a whistle.
That's on McLean down low, and Rutgers is going to have 4 seconds to get this down the court. And this is interesting. Maryland's going to put Dulcie on, I guess, to just make sure there's not an offensive rebound, a putback.
4 seconds for McMiller. From the logo. She got it! Oh my goodness, Kiyomi McMiller. How about that for a homecoming?
She had a little extra to celebrate at Sellers. Oh man. Flags supporting her up behind the Rutgers bench. That's cool to see, and again, they'll never forget that shot, neither will she, over Cheyenne Sellers.
Maryland shot 38% in that first quarter. First possession here, Smeichel, the former Scarlet Knight. Dulcie at the free throw line lets it go, just short. That's something that Freeze has tried to work on with her, is shots around the painted area. McMiller, fancy dribbling wizardry to the bucket, good, and a foul.
I think Maryland needs to figure out a way to stop 32, but the question is, can you? When she gets going, I don't know if you can. This is unbelievable confidence. A little shake and bake. It's on Sellers again, who's a great defender. No match for McMiller there. It's incredible. Through 3 players.
Look at the emotion from her as well. She's up to 11 already in the contest.
And her fan club's going to have a lot to cheer about if this continues. And remember, she had a slow start.
She did. Started 1 of 5. See if Maryland can quiet some of the noise.
I think she's
from
picked
McMiller.
up the pace now.
Good defense here on Sellers. Has to pass out to Schmeichel. Maryland's leading scorer to the bucket. Gets it over Adams.
We're seeing fun basketball here. It's just back and forth. That's two of the best scorers in the Big Ten in McMiller.
She's got the hot hand. This time goes down low to Adams. Double team from Maryland. Still finds her way to get through, but too long. Sellers takes in transition. Tibiasu, VCU transfer, pulls it back out.
I just love Tibiasu's comfort on the ball.
Schmeichel, see if she likes this matchup here. Screen from Dulcie, pull up Jay. Too short. McMiller up ahead, and that's taken away by Tibiasu.
I think McMiller's just got to take a deep breath. I know that was a wild last few minutes for her, but
imagine how she's feeling right now. Playing on her home court in front of all these fans and doing what she just did. Meanwhile, Tibiasu, pass inside. Dulcie can't handle it. Fight for the loose ball. Possession arrow favors Rutgers.
working her way inside is just not a strength of Tibiasu. When you got the size disadvantage, it's just not her fault. And I don't think that Rutgers defenders there were really thinking that she was going to go up for the shot, and that just makes that fake so much harder to pull off. I don't think that Dulcie was ready for it in the middle.
Here's Adams, free throw line, Jay. Too much space given. Adams, another special player taken away. And Thompson couldn't handle the contact from Poffenbarger. See what Maryland does in transition. McDaniel inside, Kubek, a lot of contact, there's the call.
McDaniel, so comfortable, splits the two defenders. Oh, that's such a great pass. And Ali Kubek immediately, I think mid-shot, was asking for the foul. She gets it, she's headed to the line.
Yeah, to Lacey's credit, looks like she got a lot of the ball, but I think the body is what they get her there for.
And she's still asking the referee. Oh, look at this, she's gonna tie her shoe, and I just saw Kubek just sigh. Some extra time for her to think about this shot. Applause for the correct technique there on the shoe tie, Ben.
I hope on the broadcast it was evident how quiet it was in this building for that moment.
That was one of the more awkward things I think I've ever seen.
Here's Kubek, 70% free throw shooter, gets only 1 of 2.
And I guess the shoe tie works.
Into the corner, Thompson lets it fly, too strong. Good rebound for Schmeichel, and the air ball chance begin.
Such an interesting game because you'll see nothing but net from half court and then air balls. Kind of, you don't know which one's coming. And for both teams, I think that just says a lot about confidence. These two teams are unfazed by misses. And that produces a lot of entertainment for us.
Adams traveled. Let's go look at the last couple plays here. Poffenbarger, that's a good look inside, and Kubek has made her presence felt here early.
Kubek just able to use the size there. She didn't really need to hesitate or put a move on. I think she just had the size advantage and used it.
Somehow McDaniel has it. She's going to let a 3 go. And that nearly banked in. McDaniel to the bucket this time, and she's off. McMiller pushes. Goes behind the back a couple times, spins back to her right. It's taken away. Schmeichel up ahead. Easy 2.
And that's so good by Tibiasu to see that pass before she even got the ball. That had to leave her hand quickly, Ben, and it did. A great assist for number 1 in white.
McMiller, that last play, maybe trying to do a little too much. Number 1 in black, Adams takes her look. Poffenbarger uses all of her strength to box out Lacey.
8th rebound for Sailor Poffenbarger.
Ball still loose. McDaniel has it on the floor. Tibiasu can't collect it. This game's all over the place right now.
And both Poffenbarger and McDaniel are shaken up after this play.
A lot of hustle all over the floor here, Tyler.
That was incredible by Poffenbarger to roll that on the ground to prevent what would have been a jump, but she is still in pain, and the trainer's going to have to come out. Take a look at her. I think she maybe got a hand stepped on.
This would be a tough loss for Maryland should she be out the rest of this game or longer.
She is in a ton of pain, and she's going to go right to the locker room, and that is a troubling sight for everybody here. I mean, she's been unbelievable in this game, Ben, with the rebounds, 8 of them.
Kara Perkins. Be interesting to see how Maryland responds to the injury. Schmeichel gets the board. It's a little more quiet in the building. McDaniel steps back. Has to find somebody. Sellers collects 15 on the shot clock.
No headband for Cheyenne Sellers.
She goes to the rack, floater too strong. Adams collects, gives right to McMiller. The ball's been in her hands most of this first half. And a travel called on Perkins. Frustrations on both sides. 9 turnovers for each team. Mira McLean comes back into the game for Allie Kubek. She expresses a little frustration herself heading to the bench there, Tyler.
And there's Sailor Poffenbarger. She never actually made it to the locker room. It looked like she was just standing in the tunnel, holding her hand, and she's set to check back in. A big sigh of relief for everybody in this building.
Sellers uses her strength, and she is just so good at that.
She's so good at every aspect of the game, and that's why she's such a highly touted prospect. A 7-0 run for Maryland with one of their most impactful players in Sailor Poffenbarger on the bench.
Thompson with it. Adams to the basket. Traveled. 10 turnovers for the Scarlet Knights. Maryland on a 7-0 run over the last 3 minutes, and it takes a 10-point lead as we head to the break. A lot of action back and forth.
Going to be an interesting one throughout because boy has it been so far.
There's been some super high highs and some pretty low lows on both sides.
It's been beautiful.
Here's DiBiase, the VCU transfer, gives to Sellers. She's called her number a lot today, and she's off the mark for this one. McMiller ahead herself. Poffenbarger back in the game. She takes the steal.
I think that was McLean who got a poke. And we've talked a lot about her hustle and her defense, Ben.
Here she is for 3. Off the mark. Right back inside McLean. A great pass to Schmeichel. What a back and forth transition there for McLean.
Right. Again, she gets the poke and then she gets the helper on the other end.
9-0 Maryland run.
And 9 points for Schmeichel in this game. Again, she's certainly the player to watch for Maryland.
And she takes it away. A lot of contact, and she has some words for Lisa Thompson.
What happened there? She looked like she was in the clear, ready to go and take that all the way. And Cheyenne Sellers is saying, let's have a review. She just took it away. I think Cheyenne Sellers is arguing that Thompson took Schmeichel's arm and put it back up into her face. That's so hard to prove.
Look at our officials here getting a look at it.
Cam.
That's a great shot there. But, yeah, there's a clear path situation there for Schmeichel after taking away. And, of course, Thompson and Schmeichel, those two were teammates last year.
So the foul here already is on Thompson. That's what was called. And I think Thompson is trying to say, no, Schmeichel swung the arm back and hit me. The officials have seen enough, so they're going to have a decision, and then I'd hope one of them comes over and gives us an explanation, because that's one where, again, how do you prove that it was Schmeichel's arm taken back by Thompson in an attempt to draw a call? Let's take one last look at this, Ben, before the officials reveal their decision. That's a great play by Schmeichel. That looked to me like that was Schmeichel's arm moving independently.
It also did, in the same realm, look like Thompson had reached in and fouled her as soon as she took the ball. So
now,
this is really interesting.
What I saw there was, I don't think that it was intentional by Schmeichel to hit her in the face. I think it was more so a case of she was trying to swat away the arm, create some personal space for herself to keep dribbling. So I don't think it was anything was really intentional on either side in terms of going above and beyond. We're going to take one last look. But you're right, you see that hand in, and I think that that is Schmeichel saying, get the hand off of me back.
I agree with you. It clearly is a foul on Thompson initially.
Right.
But we'll have to see what the officials decide here.
So I think Brandon Fries is going to be called in, and that's how you know something's really complicated when the two coaches are asked to join the refs.
Brenda Fries and Coquise Washington to have coached against each other quite a handful of times. Washington with Penn State for 12 years.
Let's see if we can judge by the coach's reaction what way this is going to go.
There's Thompson trying to explain her side of the story.
Both coaches are just so stoic, it's hard to tell, but Fries has a bit of a smirk. That could go either way, though. Now the refs are going to walk back over. Take a look. I think I would not be surprised if they just leave it at that foul on Thompson. Maybe you could argue the clear path, but nothing there on Schmeichel.
See if we get the call here. Have an official heading our direction.
So Rutgers is going to get the ball. We're going to have free throws, I think, for both sides. We had a live ball foul and then a foul after the initial foul. So they're going to say that, yes, Schmeichel did, in fact, foul Thompson after the initial call.
And Poffenbarger is going to shoot by herself because of the
foul
clear
was upgraded.
Path. Yes, it was
clear
upgraded.
Path. So again, to just review all of that, that foul on Thompson, that initial foul, has been upgraded, and then they're going to get Schmeichel for the foul after that one. And it will be Rutgers' ball at midcourt after these free throws. Because the foul was upgraded, Maryland can pick whoever they want to take them. And honestly, with that one, you could go either way with Schmeichel and Poffenbarger. One last look at it. So there's the initial foul. Schmeichel puts the arm back to try to knock away the hand of Thompson, and the refs call a foul on that as well.
So essentially a double tech, and McMiller goes to the line as a result for Rutgers. So after all that, now it's just Rutgers' ball.
We appreciate the refs. It's always fun when they come over and give us the explanation. We don't want to get what they have interpreted wrong. And I think they did a really good job of navigating a pretty complex play.
That was challenging.
Yeah.
Adams for three. Just a little short. Schmeichel has rebounded really well in this one. She's got 4. Tibiasu, the true point for Maryland.
Rutgers has made one of their last 7 shots, none in the last 4 minutes. Maryland's got to capitalize.
Schmeichel steps back long, too, just a bit short, and McLean fouled on the loose ball. She hustles all over the place, Tyler. I've been very impressed with what she's done in this game.
It's incredible. Uncharacteristic day for Schmeichel. I mean, it hasn't been terrible. She's still 4 of 7. It's just, if that is uncharacteristic, that just shows how good she's been. You almost never see her miss.
It's Maryland lead up to 12 after Rutgers still 4.5 minutes from its last basket.
They just need to stop in the worst way right now.
Sellers against McMiller, and that's a great block from Sidibe.
But the hustle by Kubek.
Poffenbarger to the basket, blocking foul. She goes to the line for 2.
Such an entertaining player, Sailor Poffenbarger, because Adams has a lot to say after that call, and her teammates are just trying to hold her back. But again, Sailor Poffenbarger is not usually in the paint bin. All 3 of her field goal attempts before that one there were from 3, and she's a great rebounder. She's not necessarily an inside scorer. However, that time she does well to get to the line where she really is dominant.
So this game's got a little bit chippy. And Poffenbarger and Adams have been battling down low for those rebounds, as we mentioned. Poffenbarger up to 3 points after the free throw. She's got 8 boards.
And a helper as well.
She gets both. All of her points coming from the line here in this first half. Maryland up by 14. Rutgers has not scored in the last 5 minutes.
They really need McMiller to step up here. She's got 14 points on her own in this game.
Trying to do it herself. She loses it again. McLean stole it. In transition, Sellers takes it out, gives back to Tibiasu.
That's 6 turnovers now on McMiller back.
Sellers trying to get it inside to Kubek. Pretty good defense from Cornwell. Cornwell, who used to be an everyday starter with this Rutgers team, here in her 5th year has seen her role decrease a little bit.
But she's still a leader, and she is still a big part of what Rutgers is trying to build. She's somebody who's been around for a while there, and she knows a lot about the culture coach is trying to instill.
McDaniel right wing, shot clock down to 3, steps back, the J, and that's off the mark. Maryland, another offensive rebound. That's 6 in the ball game. McLean wants Poffenbarger, great pass inside. And a lot of contact, no call. Possession stays with Maryland with 6 on the shot clock. Inside, Kubek can't handle it. 3 seconds on the clock. Sellers from the corner. Too strong. Rebound Sidibe. And she traveled. Kubek forced it.
Kubek's hustle. You talk about McLean. I think the Ali Kubek just as much can be said. Her effort this season has just been so good, especially lately.
Inside to Kubek, she got hit on the face by Cornwell, and you could hear her in some pain as soon as that contact was initiated. Maryland's in the bonus here.
Yeah, you can see the push from behind. And Kubek certainly embellishing it a little, but it was definitely a foul. Let's see if Kubek can knock down the free throws in response again. Rutgers going on 6 minutes now, Ben, since their last field goal.
And Maryland itself has only made one of its last 8, 0 of its last 5. So the offense has really slugged through the second half of this second quarter. McMiller, 6 turnovers in the ball game. Maybe at times has tried to do a little too much, but she's had some incredible flashy plays as well. Has McDaniel, very tough and pesky defender on her. Into the corner, 3 on the way. Off the mark, Cornwell puts it up and in. There's China Cornwell, a North Carolina native. Been a really solid player the past couple of years for Rutgers. More in a bench role this year. McDaniel to the bucket, and she walks. A lot of turnovers on both sides, Tyler. 11 for Maryland, 14 for the Scarlet Knights.
Again, I really think that you said it best. With the highs have been unbelievable for both teams, and there have been some tough moments as well.
Rutgers, no field goals in the last 6 minutes. McMiller tries to end it here. Great defense by McLean, and she steps out of bounds. McLean forces another one, and that's 7 for McMiller.
And I think that she's kind of personified the game, right? She has the two best plays. And there's nothing else really close. And then 7 turnovers as well. It's just been a mixed bag.
What can Maryland do here up 14? Maryland no buckets in the last 3 minutes. McDaniel inside McLean. She ends the drought. What a first half from Mir McLean.
And that's the first time she's scored, and yet you can't help but agree with that statement, Ben. She's done everything else. Her hustle, she's just been everywhere. A deserved bucket for number 10 in white.
Rutgers had a chance to go 2 for 1. Goes to the corner for Petticord. Sellers gets the board. Maryland can hold for the last shot here, already up by 16 in this first half. Sellers, a team-high 11.
And I don't know if this ball's leaving the hands of Cheyenne Sellers. She's been calling her number all game.
0 inside to 14. Kubek lays it in. Couldn't draw it up any better, and that shot won't count either way. An 18-point lead for the Terrapins here as the first half comes to a close.
And even in a half where Cheyenne Sellers has been doing so much more shooting.
Up by 18. Sellers had Maryland's high of 11 in the first half. Inside Puffenbarger, using all of her body. Tried to find Schmeichel. Sidibe takes it away, foul on Maryland.
And by the way, we talk about Pride Month and how important that is to Cheyenne Sellers. How about her partner Faith Massonis with that unbelievable game winner for Seton Hall? I've never seen anything like that.
That was just ridiculous. Had Fanta on the call for it. Circus shot over the head, and I think Maryland fans love to see Massonis succeeding wherever she is, now at Seton Hall.
Yeah, that's definitely a tough player to lose. The form of leadership, and she was just a player that did it all. And to see her kind of become the focal point of another team in Seton Hall, and that for her to have a moment like that, I think it's really cool.
Good start for JoJo Lacey.
Like I said, this game is going to be won or lost for Rutgers in these next few minutes. That's exactly right, Ben. A great start to this half. Let's see if they can keep the momentum going.
2 stops. Lacey just scored moments ago. First-year transfer from Boston College. McMiller. And a little long on that one. She's been cold since a really strong start to the second quarter. This one inside. Adams just can't get it to roll. She heads to the line for 2.
And that's so unlucky. We're going to see this bounce back on the rim. It did everything but go in, right? It just bounces up and down and around. Lacey, that's a great pass inside, and look at that. It was starting to turn, and it just wasn't meant to be, I guess. This is 2 huge free throws for Adams.
She's got the first on the season. 64% free throw shooter. Second year with Rutgers, then her first 2 years at UNC. Long rebound comes out to Sellers. Coast to coast, to the bucket. Oh, almost an and one.
Another unlucky bounce, but that's Cheyenne Sellers working her magic. She gets down the court so quickly, Ben, and she has the confidence to put it up once she gets there. Through McMiller, she's got the size advantage, and it's just such a smart take. I mean, again, when you are the point guard, essentially, I know Tabiasu's out there as well. Maryland kind of has 2, but when you're the key distributor, you really need to know when it's time for you to go. And for Sellers, that was definitely the right call there.
And I saw her look up at the video board and saw the replay, and she kind of had a look where she wanted that one back.
Yeah.
McMiller got her on the head on the way up, but Sellers such a tough player. She gets both. Maryland up by 17. Schmeichel nearly takes it away. What a fight for Lacey. And the Boston College transfer puts it in.
And Dulcie just kind of got lost there. I don't think that she expected the ball to come down that way.
Poffenbarger, pass to the top of the key. Sellers spinning to the rack. What a bucket for 0.
It's 15 for Sellers. And like we've been talking about all night, she's shooting at a volume, at a rate that we're just not used to seeing. It's still 18 minutes to play, and she's already at her average shots attempted per game. She's made half of them, and I'd say it's been a good call so far.
She officially got the game high. Another loose ball. Fight for it. Adams comes up with it, and she gets a bucket over Dulcie.
That's a nice bucket.
Outlet pass, Sellers up ahead. Schmeichel had to get out of the way of the ref, and she's fouled.
How in the world did she get that up? I mean, first of all, she's got to stop on a dime to get away from the ref, but she kind of cupped it with her hand, threw it back up over her head. This is incredible. The ref can't believe. I don't think she saw that pass coming in.
That's a heck of a play against her former team, too. Well, Schmeichel connects, and she's up to 10 in the ball game.
If you're ref in Maryland, I think you got to expect the home run pass, especially when Sellers grabs. And again, it's just so much fun to watch Maryland in transition. They move so fast.
So you got to remember here, Maryland's got a lot of people that throw that outlet pass. Poffenbarger,
Yep.
It's in her blood. Her brother Reese, a state champion at Middletown High School as a quarterback, was at Miami last season before transferring. All the way to the rack, Sidibe can't get it, and there's Poffenbarger with the board.
You think about how many times they played catch. And that time you could see Poffenbarger shaking off Schmeichel on the far side, who wanted another home run.
Tibiasu too strong.
I think that's just a forced shot. Tibiasu wants to get going.
And I think they're going to call a foul on Dulce here, who got tangled up with Perkins on the baseline.
I love the energy from the bench there by Maryland. Everybody jumped up and immediately started pointing. And that's something that Brenda Fries emphasizes before every game. You have that little hype video where Brenda Fries says, you know, if you're on the court or if you're on the bench, I want your effort from the first whistle to the last.
A lot of people very familiar with people in this program have said that Fries says she really likes this team. And what can you say from what you've seen so far this year with them? And that's a nice shot from Adams. But this team, Maryland, one of 8 undefeated teams left in the nation. Schmeichel, other end, too long.
I think that this team, first and foremost, is just so different from the team that by Maryland standards was disappointing last season. And you have that frustrating end with Iowa State having such a great comeback, and everybody's just got to refocus.
Sidibe picks up her dribble, does not want the shot. Instead ahead here, Perkins. Tries to get inside, Poffenbarger, like a safety, takes it away, all the way to the bucket, and she's fouled.
And again, that's exactly who you want to see going to the line. Sailor Poffenbarger shooting 89% from the stripe this year. And it is kind of like a safety bench. She just read the pass, jumped it, and took it the other way.
That's 16 turnovers for the Scarlet Knights.
You can see she's just exhausted at the end of that contact on her the entire way.
And she's without a field goal so far, but she is 5 of 5 from the line. Make that 6. Rutgers already 9 points, Tyler, in this third quarter. That's how many it had in the whole second quarter. That's the 10th quarter this year the Terps have held their opponents to single digits.
Yeah, the defense for Maryland is so special, and it's so hard for Rutgers to really do anything against them when the shooting has gone cold.
Cornwell got tangled up with Kubek and received the offensive foul as a result. That's
another play by
turnovers.
Kubek that's not going to go in the stat sheet, Ben, but I mean, what have we harped on? The hustle, the effort. the IQ.
Sellers enters down low. There's Kubek. She puts it in. That connection has been great all night long.
That's trust. I think that's the best word for it. Kubek calls even though she's covered.
McMiller, a long one off the mark.
And that's just awareness from Sellers to know, all right, that is within Kubek's bag. That's a situation she can handle.
Tibiasu just missed it.
And Sellers did everything that she could to help Kubek be in as good of a position as she can be. And how about Adams getting going here, Ben?
She's up to 11.
She's making a few shots here in the second half.
17-point lead for Maryland. Poffenbarger can't get that first field goal. She is now 0 for 6.
And again, that's just the one weakness, I think, in her game, because she can shoot for the perimeter, and she's great defensively. She can rebound with the best of them. It's just the inside scoring. That's the one missing piece, I think, that we've seen from Poffenbarger this year. And that hasn't even really been the worst thing, because most of the time she gets to the line. That time, though, I almost feel like every time she steps into the paint bed, she's doing that for the intent of drawing a whistle. When there's no whistle like that, it can be frustrating for her.
Lisa Thompson gives to Lacey all the way to the bucket. Offensive foul. And who else but Mir McLean? Tan and white is all over the court tonight.
It's just so impressive for her to take that charge, and she knows where to be. She's not afraid of the contact. You've been very impressed by Mir McLean tonight.
I mean, she plays the game the way a coach would love to have someone on the team. Anyone that is willing to put their body on the line, dive for the loose balls. That's what she's done today.
And that's why two phenomenal coaches, Gino Ariema and now Brenda Fries, have put so much trust in her.
Sellers and one. Maryland starting to pour it on, a chance to go up by 20. And Coquise Washington
under the basket on the shot. Alex replaying that in the control room. That is money right there for McMiller. That's a shot we'll never forget. I'm sure she won't either in her return to Maryland.
Sellers has 18 after completing the three-point play.
And her fan base has really shown up for her.
See what Rutgers can do here, down by 20. Thompson still with it, gets the screen from Cornwell. Perkins lost it initially, and McDaniel says it should be her ball. It's Rutgers' way.
Maryland just kind of switched up their strategy on Perkins earlier on. Remember, it was Poffenbarger who was guarding her, and she was just giving her the three, and McDaniel's not giving away anything easily now at this point.
Thompson to the line for two after the long J. She is fouled on the play.
And you know, we talked about the importance of that period of play before the media timeout, Ben, and Maryland won it 13-11. That's just so big for the Terps to come out of the locker room and pick up right where they left off.
Sophomore gets the first. And Detroit, Michigan. Second one no good. Sellers the rebound. Tyler, we've mentioned a couple times that Sellers really hasn't had to take over a game yet for Maryland through the first 12. She's got 18, a season high today. That just goes to show you that she really hasn't had the same scoring role this year.
But she can do it whenever she wants.
And Kubek knocking down the three is something Maryland can be really scary when she's doing.
How good has Allie Kubek been today, Ben? She's done it all.
She's got 14.
On 6 field goal attempts. You'll take that. And that's coming off the bench, too.
Perkins into Cornwell. Thought about it. Goes to the corner, Sidibe. Adams has had the hot hand here in the second half, and she's got another and one.
She has been fantastic coming out of the locker room. Just a totally different player. I've been so impressed by Adams so far here in the second half. I mean, that is just great. She is averaging 18 a game. I mean, she's a phenomenal player. We all know that, but she just couldn't get going early on, and In the second half, she's really done it all, but she can't get that free throw to go.
Ball's going to stay Rutgers' way here. 20-point lead for Maryland. Poffenbarger got tangled up with Perkins. Extra chance here. Maybe steal a couple more points for the Scarlet Knights.
Certainly work to do, but that would be a good start.
Adams, again, this one rolls off the cup. Pass up ahead, Poffenbarger. Pulls it out, McDaniel straight away, book it.
And how about the discipline by Poffenbarger, Ben, to just turn around and realize, look, that's not her strength in the paint. She sees somebody cutting in transition to McDaniel, and she gets an extra point out of it.
Called it a long 2 on the floor for McDaniel.
Oh, wow. Never mind, no extra points, but still, I think the right call. And that's so hard to do, Ben, when you're booking it down the court transition to set your feed. McDaniel just couldn't do so there, and I think she's looking up, wondering where that extra point went to.
There's Adams at the line.
Poffenbarger's got 6 points, 10 rebounds, and now 2 assists in this game.
Meanwhile, Destiny Adams up to 14. 15 for Adams. Sellers the game high on the floor, 18 with it. Very efficient, 6 of 11 from the field as well. McLean dumps it off down low. McDaniel tries to find any space, and 3 seconds called in the paint.
When Maryland is rolling like this, and when you get that show of depth, when you get those players coming in off the bench and producing, this is just a terrifying team to match up against. And when Maryland plays Iowa later on in the week, that is going to just be a special game.
Some really good games upcoming. We'll get more to that later.
Yeah.
Inside, Adams has 3 Terps around her. Perkins lets it go, and she connects.
Like I said earlier, she doesn't shoot them much. That's a huge shot by Perkins at the end of the shot clock.
And McDaniel gets fouled on the other end. Adams very frustrated.
Well, she's walking back to her coach. I wonder what she's saying. Maybe there's an issue with the coach is there?
Adams
that's
has
foul
4
number
fouls
4.
now.
Maybe is she asking to stay in this game? And now the coach is going to take her out. Coach Washington's seen enough.
Sidibe back into the game for Adams, who's had the really hot hand for the Scarlet Knights in this 3rd quarter. McDaniel at the line for the 2nd trip today. Perfect 3 of 3 so far. There's Adams on the bench. Really good second half so far. She has experienced her fair share of frustrations, though, with the fouls.
She is a phenomenal, phenomenal player. There's 2 players on this Rutgers team, and McMiller and Adams, that are definitely just legit. And I think they're going to win some games in the Big Ten this season. I think they're going to upset some teams.
Meanwhile, Schmeichel forces another turnover. Thompson kind of dribble off her foot there.
It's just been the turnovers, 19 of them in this game for Rutgers.
Maryland has made its last 3. Sellers to Kubek, pumps once. To the bucket, kicks, and it's deflected out of play.
That's so good from Kubek. She's proven already in this game that you've got to respect that shot. And she can also show the ability to change directions in a hurry, cut inside, and maybe set something up for another player. That time the pass deflected, but she did have Poffenbarger in the corner. That would have been a good look.
Sellers, Maryland's best passer to inbound. It's in Poffenbarger right back to her. Sellers has Sidibe on her. The screen from Kubek to the bucket. And that rolls off. Sidibe collects the rebound. But then she walks. That's happened quite a few times in this game for these Scarlet Knights, who are up to 20 turnovers. Schmeichel, little J, off the mark.
It's McLean getting in there again.
Well, Sellers comes up with it to the basket, gives it all the way back to the Xfinity logo. Poffenbarger back to Sellers. McLean back to Sellers.
I don't think McLean realized how open she was.
Sellers takes to the bucket. That foul's on the floor. Both teams into the bonus here in this third quarter.
It's been chippy, I think, especially since halftime. It's a division game. I mean, that's kind of what you expect. Big Ten is so packed this year with just great, great teams. You're going to see things get chippy. You're going to see things get tough. Sellers is frustrated that she misses a free throw, and that's the standard she holds herself to.
Third in Maryland history in free throw percentage, 81% in her career.
What a career it's been.
Really. The standard of Maryland women's basketball, which is one of the best in the country, and
high.
Sellers has embodied that and then some.
This is a really, really tough place, I think, to really make your name and set it apart from past players, because there's just been so many greats that have come through here under Brenda Fries.
Keep in mind, Rutgers McMiller has not been on the floor for quite some time. 8 on the shot clock here for the Scarlet Knights, down by 20. Here's Petticourt off the bench. Let's go, the triple. Rebound McLean all over the place in this contest. Inside Schmeichel on Cornwell. Good block from 54. And she gets the board herself. Former teammates going at it there. Thompson, not quite sure what happened there, had it poked away. 40 seconds on the game clock. Rutgers can go 2 for 1. Perkins elects to do so, and she gets it to go. Maryland up by 18 here, under 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. Comfortable position for these Terps. McLean inside, dishes Kubek, and one! Allie Kubek.
Mir McLean setting that up. That is just incredible. 2 players that have come off the bench and given it their all. And I feel like that's the best compliment that you can give to a player that has earned every minute each of them have played, and that's a nice moment for both of them. But how about Allie Kubek's night? 16 points on 7 field goal attempts.
Shooter's touch for 17.
And she scored in so many different ways. She's helped in so many different ways. It's such a weapon. And again, she's gone through injury troubles from Towson to come here and be effective. That's great.
Final seconds, Thompson misses. Maryland a chance, couple seconds on the clock, knocked away, 1.2 remaining. So maybe still time for a shot here. Ava McKinney into the game for the first time. Gets it to Sellers at midcourt, lets it fly, and that one off the mark. Domination for Maryland in this.
She has all this ability to score, and yet she is always looking to get everybody else involved. But today, she has called her number plenty. 19 points is the result, and she's done it in so many different ways. What a talented player, and it's so much fun to watch her play.
Got a little trivia question for you today. A win would give Maryland its best start since 2018-2019. Who was the leading scorer that season for the Terps? We'll have the answer coming up a little bit later in this fourth quarter. First possession of the fourth quarter belongs to the Terps and Sellers. Game high 19, 50% from the field, 6 of 12.
First time that we're seeing DeBerry in this game. Let's see if she could have some effect down low.
Maryland trying to utilize some of its depth. McLean to the basket, too short. Up ahead, Schmeichel takes it away. She's done that plenty of times. 2-on-1, she takes it herself. Can't get it to fall. Lacey, the rebound.
How often do you think out of 10 tries to have Sellers and Schmeichel on a 2-and-1 and neither of them score? I think that would probably be the only one, and somehow Terps come up empty there.
Lacey, just the forearm shiver given to McLean. There's been some chippiness in this game. Lacey does not like the call. And she's fouled out of this game. So foul trouble all over the place for the Scarlet Knights. Destiny Adams is out on the floor. She has 4. You can hear the serenades coming from the crowd here at Xfinity.
And the band is letting her know each step.
Schmeichel down low to Barry. Good pass across the floor for McKinney. To Barry down low, can't get it to go. And she's fouled on the second chance.
And you're in such a tough position. If you're Rutgers right now, if you're Coach Washington, because you got to get back into this game. And how do you do that? You kind of have to have the best 5 out there. And for Lacey, that's it. But now you've got Adams with 4. Sidibe's got 4. Cornwell has 4 as well.
Good looking stroke for the first one for DeBerry. Transfer from UConn. Second one rattles out. Maryland up by a comfortable 22. Lisa Thompson, the point guard for Rutgers, have not seen McMiller since early in the third quarter. Down low inside. Goes back out of the corner, Sidibe. Couple of pump fakes. Has McKinney on her. Shot clock down to 3. She's going to have to put this up. Can't get it to go. Good rebound for DeBerry.
And that's what DeBerry brings to the table. Just excellent rebounding. Using her size to her advantage there.
Great look inside. Schmeichel to the line for 2.
And again, it's just been a frustrating game for Schmeichel so far. 4 of 12. But she's still got 11 points. She's still got 4 boards as well. And look at the step forward that she's taken in terms of scoring. She was already fantastic at Rutgers, but now in a more crowded Maryland team, Ben, it's been better. Look at the shooting percentages specifically, both with huge jumps.
Could really see the flashes last year. Rutgers' all-time leading freshman scorer with 573 points. McMiller might be on the way to breaking that this year, though. That's going to be an interesting storyline to follow. Schmeichel has been excellent in College Park. Maryland up by 24. Down low, Adams absorbs the contact, can't get it to go.
Adams has been so unlucky in this game with some of these rolls and these layups.
Inside, McKinney draws the foul.
You can see Ali Kubek standing up and cheering for her teammate as she earns that foul and earns a trip to the line. That's Sellers setting it up again. As soon as Sellers gets the ball, it doesn't matter if it's off an inbound. She could pass and find a teammate from wherever.
Kenny gets the first one. McSherrystown, PA native, misses the second. Good rebound for DeBerry. Schmeichel takes it back out and gives back to Sellers. Maryland can really take his time. McLean can't handle it. She's on the floor, and she just hits it out of bounds to her own bench.
Well, McKinney was hustling over to grab it, and if McKinney's not there, I think McLean saves it. McLean is laughing. Sellers laughing as well. And I will say, there's no stat to quantify vibes or happiness, but I've never seen a player smile more on the court than Giant Sellers. That's not just today. That's across 4 years of covering the team.
A lot of contact in. What's the call here? McLean's a bit shaken up. And Adams is out of the game after that call. and she can't believe it. Looks
Yeah,
like the
they're gonna
elbow
get her
got
with the elbow.
McLean.
She's been complaining about calls. She's been fired up all game, and it's just been an unlucky game for her. Rutgers needs to get her onto the bench, though, before she gets further trouble.
So Perkins has to come into the game.
Just a frustrating game for Adams.
And it's a shame because she's been great offensively, especially in this second half.
She had 31 points and 17 rebounds, Ben, as we were talking about in the open, against a phenomenal Ohio State team, and today it's just not the same result. Sidibe, who's out there wearing number 11 in black, also has 4 fouls now, Ben.
Look at this ball movement. Sellers for 3. Got it! 22 for Cheyenne Sellers.
That's beautiful basketball. You say ball movement. How do you stop that?
Defense all out of sorts. The defense for Maryland on the other side has been excellent. Nearly another turnover for Sidibe. Gets to the rim. She'll be rewarded with 2 free throws here.
And what's so impressive about that for me, Ben, is that look at who's on the floor right now. It's a mishmash of, you got 2 players at Michael and Sellers, who are 2 of the best on the team, 2 regular starters. You've got McLean, who plays a lot of minutes off the bench, and then McKinney and DeBerry, who are also bench pieces. So that's 3 very different types of players out there, and the chemistry is still there. The ability to work together is there as well. Sellers and Schmeichel come out and get a well-deserved cheer from the crowd.
First free throw from Sidibe, good. Sellers out of the game with 22. Today, her 13th career 20-point game.
And that number could be a lot higher if she was not so focused on making sure everybody eats on this Maryland team. And while it does hurt her own numbers, it helps the team so much.
Poffenbarger got the rebound after McKinney could not get the layup to fall. Tibiasu, pull up Jay. McLean fights for the board, gets it, and puts it up and in.
That's incredible.
28-point lead.
We're running out of ways to compliment the effort from McLean in this game. It has just been out of this world. 5 rebounds for her.
Petticord, a little too strong. Sidibe with a sea of Terps around her. Goes back to the corner, Perkins. Another offensive rebound for the Scarlet Knights. What can Thompson do with it? She gets it. Lisa Thompson, first field goal of the day for her. Poffenbarger on the right wing. Barry enters it for McLean. And she is fouled.
That's a good pass from DeBerry inside for McLean, who gets a foul call out of it, productive in the end.
Both teams, or rather just Maryland, shooting the rest of the way in this one so far.
But again, look at this vision here from DeBerry up top. Kind of looks like little Terp Derek Queen just starting things from the top of the key. And whenever you have a big who you can trust distributing the ball, it's always such a nice weapon to have. And DeBerry putting that on display there.
McLean only 4 points, looking for a 5th right here, but the stat sheet doesn't really tell you how impactful she's been in this game. 5 rebounds and 2 steals is something to be very proud of, but her impact has been more than that.
She's given Maryland 20 fantastic minutes.
Here's Thompson. Sidibe drives the baseline, spins, skips around McKinney, puts it in and one.
Sidibe's not giving up. She's going to fight till the end. It's been a frustrating game for her. She had 2 points before that. She's got 4 fouls. But she's been fighting all game long, and that's Just a tough bucket through contact with size, clearly going the way of Maryland.
Three-point play complete. That was over DeBerry. She's 6'6".
Right.
And a lot of length with the wingspan. Rutgers applies some pressure here. 5.5 to go. Tibiasu splits a triple team, and Maryland can reset with some ease now.
Brenda Fries has to be so happy with how this game has gone because she gets players like McKinney and DeBerry extended minutes in league play. And as we've seen in this game, nothing's really come easy. That's just the nature of the Big Ten.
Poffenbarger inside. McLean tried to go reverse. Fights for the rebound. It comes out to Tibiasu. McKinney for three. Off the backboard and no good. She grabs the rebound, swings it to the corner. Tibiasu lets it fly. And Maryland misses a couple of good looks there.
And that's Sidibe again, despite the size advantage going to Maryland, she hustles and gets a rebound.
Thompson resets for the Scarlet Knights. 24-point lead for the Terps. Good hedge from Poffenbarger. Open look, Petticord. No good. And the rebound goes to DeBerry.
It's her fourth. She's looked really good in the paint in this game, Ben. Pulling down rebounds against a gritty Rutgers team who, again, has not stopped fighting. Every time the ball bounces off the rim, they are trying their hardest to grab it.
Fight for this loose ball, and heads-up play by Thompson to get rid of it. All the way up ahead, McLean deflects it out of play.
A pass deflection.
Maryland is dominating, up by 24 with 4 minutes to play. Let's take a quick break here on Big Ten Plus. DeBerry blocks it. Sidibe, fearless to the bucket inside. Good dish to Cornwell. China Cornwell, lesser role for her this year, but she has been really good in the minutes off the bench for Coquise Washington. Tibiasu with it. And another turnover here. Maryland 16 turnovers, 23 for the Scarlet Knights. Petticord three, it's there.
Get Rutgers, you have to give them so much credit, just not stopping fighting at all.
And that's a tough question that we're going to get the answer to soon, Ty. I was just thinking about it, and I don't know. A lot of great players on that team. McKinney on the right wing, all the way to the backside glass. Can't get it to go. McLean, of course, puts it in.
7 points now for McLean.
And then in an 8-0 Rutgers run.
Again, Rutgers, you have to give them so much credit for how they've battled here late in this game.
McLean letting out some yells while guarding Sidibe. Decent second half for Perkins. Steps back, puts up the three. That one goes.
I think Perkins should let it fly more often. Coming into this game, shooting just 17%, but she didn't take many. I think she's really found something here in this game, and that would really help Rutgers going forward. You saw Maryland covered her earlier on. If they can get rid of that, give attention to other players, that's going to be a real weapon.
Only starter on the floor currently, Tibiasu, for this Terp team, and got to see a lot of minutes for DeBerry and McKinney, both approaching 10 minutes by the time this one finishes.
And like I said, that's so important because this is a Big Ten game. These are Big Ten minutes for DeBerry and for McKinney. That's just great experience. And for Brenda Fries, it kind of lets you see what you've got.
McKinney, the J, no good. Kubek right in there to clean it up. Misses that one. Second chance, no good. And she deflects that one out of play. Rather, it's off Sidibe. Minute and a half to go. Maryland 12-0. Just moments away from a 13-0 start. Maryland's best start since 2018. Trying to get to that 16-0 mark that the 2011-12 team did. That was the best start in program history. This one's taken away. Sidibe one-on-one with McKinney. A lot of contact, circus shot. And that was just wild.
You think she was looking for a whistle there, Ben?
Very surprised that she did not receive the foul call. And I mean,
it's a great effort. I mean, that's...
It turns out at the end there wasn't a whole lot of contact.
No, I think she just wanted to make it seem like there was, and she fooled us. I thought for sure there was going to be a whistle because usually you don't see that shot attempted if there is not contact.
And the final 75 seconds upcoming. Thompson, who's got a lot of work in this game, starting point guard for Rutgers, just a sophomore. Sidibe loses control of that one. McLean's the one who took it away. Tibiasu all the way to the bucket. Tough finish.
Believe it or not, that's her first points of this game.
A little bit of icing on the cake for Maryland and for McLean, who's up to 3 steals. Swings all the way outside. Kennedy Brand into the game. Perkins lets it fly, and it's well short. 10 seconds separate the shot and game clock here. Tibiasu can just hold.
Ali Kubek is actually the one that's calling stuff out here, directing traffic.
She wants it down low. Tried to get it. Brandt takes it away.
Credit to Brandt. That's great defense. Kubek has been getting that all day, and Brandt comes off the bench, shows some more fight.
Look here for Janae Walker. Sidibe takes it instead. Wow, from distance.
It's another long 3 for Rutgers.
It's a little momentum heading into the final. Maryland incomplete.